Susu.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, boo, hey. Welcome to the channel. Okay, listen, y'all. Today, I am super freaking excited, which is why I had to get on this camera and show my face to you guys because I've been waiting to do this video. Like, I really wanted to go live with you guys and do it, but y'all voted in community tab that y'all like stuff to be pre-recorded, so I guess we can do it pre-recorded. But anyways, y'all, today we are actually here to go over my legacy challenge that I came up with. You guys can hear me screaming in excitement because my mic suppression is on, but I am super freaking excited. Okay, y'all. I have it pulled up on my screen here. This is over on Tumblr if you guys want to follow along. It's called Do the Sim Thing. Okay. So I'm going to get into all of the slides and what the legacy is actually about, the rules, the actual generations, about the challenge, all of that stuff, y'all. So I'm gonna just give y'all this little overview right here. I'm gonna read it right from the screen. So, hello everyone. As you guys know, my name is Skylar Felice, and I have been playing The Sims for as long as I can remember. I've never played a legacy challenge before, but on the quest to find a legacy challenge that I felt was fitting for me, I couldn't quite decide which one I wanted to choose because I couldn't find one that I felt like I connected with. I'm a black simmer, duh, and I have been overcome with proudness by all of the aspects that our community has brought to the game. So I thought that maybe it's time for me to contribute to that success. I don't know how to make succeed. I wouldn't dare break my brain with trying to make some mods. I suck at builds, but one thing I can do is tell a story, okay? So I ended up coming up with my own ultimately. I hope that you have the best time playing for 10 generations. Please remember to tag me or hashtag do the sim thing so that I can see how your sim story goes. Thank you for participating. Okay. So that's a little bit about the challenge. But what I did not mention is that I was completely inspired by Black films. Um, I don't know if I ever mentioned this on my channel, but I am into film. I want to go to film school. I'm actually signed up or enrolled for the next semester to start in film school. So, yeah, I was really inspired by some of my favorite movies. Y'all, it was super freaking hard to narrow this down to 10 movies because there's just so many movies to choose from. And I kind of had to find movies that gradually went into each other. Now, I want y'all to remember that just because I use these movies as inspiration does not mean that you have to follow the movie storyline. It's clear, it's just for inspiration, okay? That's all. Like, I just want y'all to take the movie and be like, oh, yeah, I get why she named it that generation that, and that's it. Like, you don't have to pull from the story. You can do what you want. I want to see y'all gameplay. I want y'all to play the game how you think you should play the game. I'll set some type of rules, but not too many where you guys can't follow along. So you guys can find this over on my Tumblr. Once again, that is Scholar Felice on Tumblr. Follow me, bestie. But yeah, so that is the challenge. As y'all can see, we have some rules here. It says each generation has to have one child, but the children do not have to be biological. Feel free to use any mods or CC to enhance your gameplay. Do not, please don't cheat the parts that go with the storyline. For example, if you have to get a certain amount of simoleons or skills, and it's a big part of the storyline, don't change it. I want to see y'all go through the growth. I want to see your generations come up from poverty and break those curses. Okay? And have all the required traits. You can use more traits in cast if you want to add any extra traits, but I feel like you should use the required traits so that your sim can kind of function along with the storyline. So, yeah, if you don't have the certain traits, then you can substitute them. That's perfectly fine. But try to stick to the rules, y'all. I'm not no strickler for rules, obviously. I still want to see how you're gonna play it. If you change anything, it's no big deal. I still want to see your gameplay, so make sure you tag me. So, anyway, y'all, today is pretty much about going over these generations. I'm going to walk through each and every one of them. So, I'm just going to show y'all the generation first, and then we're going to head into the game so I can do some preparations while I tell y'all about it. So, as y'all can see, we have generation one, which is Pursuit of Happiness, generation two, which is inspired by Lean on Me, three, Love and Basketball, everybody's favorite. Generation 4, Poetic Justice. Friday is Generation 5, another favorite. And then we have Generation 6, inspired by Good Burger. Generation 7 is Major Pain. Generation 8 is BAPS. 9 is Life Size. And then we finish it off with Drumline. So stay tuned, you guys, if you want to hear about the storylines behind them, the traits, the career, the requirements that you have to do each generation. And make sure before you click off of this video today that you hit subscribe, because we're going to be getting to this legacy gameplay on my channel as well. And make sure that you give me a big thumbs up if you are getting ready to participate, or if you just feel like you about to be along for the ride. Okay. So let's go ahead and go into cast so we can make our first generation and talk about everything that this legacy has to offer. Okay, so I'm actually just going to take y'all through my cast journey as I create the founder and her son for the first generation. Like I said, y'all, this is purely supposed to be inspired by the movie. It's not supposed to follow along with the movie. So that is why I chose to go with a woman for my founder, because every generation started with a woman, period. So anyway, y'all, as we go through, I'm just going to read the backstories and tell y'all a little bit about the requirements or whatnot for each generation. And you know what? I'm just really excited. So, Generation 1, Pursuit of Happiness. After a failed relationship, you find you and your child having no home, no income, and no way to get your idea for a new invention invested in. You find yourself living in community lots and using the world around you for income. You are required to work programming jobs through freelance, but you cannot get another job until you have a home. You have to live only on community lots with your child sim until you have enough simoleons for a home. You have to gain a close dynamic with the child if you have growing together. And you also have to complete the nerve brain aspiration. The traits that you need to have is genius, good, ambitious, and you also have to work freelance programming career. So, y'all, just to say a little bit about this one, when I say that you cannot get another job until you have a home, this just means that you have to be moved out of whatever community lot. And also, the community lot can be any community lot. Like, if you want them to live in a bathroom at Goodwill, they can live in a bathroom at Goodwill. If you want them to live in a homeless shelter, they can live in a homeless shelter. Me personally, I have went ahead and built like a temporary housing unit. It's going to be using the residential rental lots, and I made it to where we can use our imagination in this game. So basically, it's temporary housing. They are built from shipping containers, and I'm gonna show you guys how I built it, or basically how it looks at the end of this video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And we'll get into a little bit more of why I chose to go that route on the first official episode. But yeah, so you can live on whatever kind of community lot you want to. There's no restrictions there. And I just feel like it gave y'all freedom to come up with the narrative on your own. Generation 2, lean on me. Your parents taught you a lot about life. Going through the struggles alongside them made you believe that you can do anything when you put your mind to it. Even though you had a rough life, you hate to see children go through tough times and vow to giving them a brighter future. You hope to someday even have your own. The requirements for this one, you have to work the education career until you reach the professor branch. You have to spend your free time at community lots building skills to mentor kids or teens. You need to form a club for kids or teens and hold weekly meetings. And you have to marry somebody with the loyal or romantic trait and have at least one child. And it doesn't matter, once again, if they're biological or adopted. The traits that you have for this one is bookworm, neat, hot-headed, and of course, you work the education career. So this one is pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to point out that when I say that you have to mentor kids, you can mentor them whatever way you want to. There's no requirement with that. Mentoring can be you talking to the kids what however you want to. Mentoring can be showing them how to do fitness, painting, music, whatever mentoring you want to do. It's your world. I'm just living in it, okay? And as y'all know, if you have get together, you can form clubs. So you want to just make sure you recruit some kids and teens and just to make them, make their world brighter. I believe that children are the future, or whatever Whitney said, okay? Period. Generation 3 is inspired by love and basketball. As a kid, you grew up in a neighborhood or around plenty of other kids due to your parents' love for children and their futures. You always loved being active, and basketball felt like your calling. Another thing that pulled at your heartstrings was your childhood crush. You dated as kids, then quickly became just friends, but you never quite got over them. And even as a young adult now, you are still madly in love. So the requirements is that you have to become a pro athlete. You need to date your childhood crush off and on, but have plenty of flings in between, even coming close to marriage at one point before you have to make the ultimate decision whether you want to go forward with the marriage or leave them for your childhood crush. Yeah, we're getting real messy. You also need to complete the soulmate aspiration and have at least two kids. The traits required is active, bro, and romantic, and of course your career is pro athlete. And just a note, you have to have the bro trait even if you are a girl. Generation 4, Poetic Justice. Following in your parents' footsteps, you fell in love at a young age. You thought you had it all figured out until your first love died unexpectedly, leaving you alone with grief. If it wasn't for your poetry, you don't know what you would have done. You use it to escape the harsh realities of the world, never really sure if you'll love again. So you need to complete the best-selling author aspiration, make a best friend, get into a relationship with a sim who has the childish or the goofball trait, then forcefully marry them even if it isn't working out, and you have to have at least two kids. The traits for this one is going to be gloomy, creative, art lover, and you do need to work in the writing career. Now, generation 5 is when your generation starts to generate, okay? Like, this is where, like, Gen Z of your generation start, okay? It says, growing up in your household, it was always about moving out at 18. Your parents held traditional jobs and always told you that once you're grown, you gotta get up, get out, and get something. No, I'm just playing. But you never really got into the whole school thing. Your grades were always satisfactory, and every job you've had, you seem to become disconnected from. This leads you into starting your very own untraditional job. So the requirements are that you have to complete the freelance both botanist, baby. I don't know how to say it, but you gotta be that, and you gotta own a dispensary or a plant shop. You gotta date at least three different Sims before marrying or settling with them, and you have to have at least one child who you have a permissive or jokester dynamic with. For this generation, I'd highly recommend that you get base mental drugs if you're into that kind of thing. And if not, that's perfectly fine, baby. Do you? But the traits for this one is going to be lazy, non-committal, and goofball. And of course, the career is for a freelance gardener. Generation 6, Good Burger. There wasn't much discipline in your life. Your parents were pretty much laid back and only instilled in you to live and laugh. You've always been a pretty happy person and you enjoy spending time with others. You may not be good at many things, but one thing you've always enjoyed was food. Much of your life's joy is serving food or drinks to others. So the requirements for this one is for you to complete the culinary career and decide which branch you end up in. Either use dine out or home chef to run a side hustle slash business. If you don't have those packs, just continue working culinary. And the next one is for you to max out the comedy, cooking, or mixology skills and mischief skills. And you also need to have at least one child, of course. The traits that's required is clumsy, childish, and cheerful. Now, Generation 7 is where someone in the family line decides, look, I'm tired of playing around because this one is inspired by major pain. Somewhere down the line in your lineage, your family has lost the sauce. You feel that you exist to restore it. Your main purpose in life is to restore discipline to your generation for all generations to come. You enter into the military career and maintain strict relationships with your children in hopes of them becoming successful in their future. So the requirements for this one is for you to work in the military career up into the branch selection. You need to marry and have more than one child. You have to complete the super parent aspiration. And if you don't have parenthood, then you just do successful lineage aspiration up until milestone 3. And then you have to maintain a strict dynamic with your children. The trace for this one is going to be insane, self assured, and dance machine. Now, I'm super excited to see where this one goes when y'all play because, girl, I know it could get real crazy. Generation 8, BAPS. One thing that living with a strict parent did for you was teach you to dream big. You always wanted to relish in the spotlight and become someone who was loved by all. You spent most of your childhood fantasizing about the days when you would become a star. You have a close relationship with all your siblings and believe that you are the one who will lead your family to success. You will stop at nothing to get there. So you are required to gain a close relationship to one of the richest Sims in any world, then move in with them, using all of their resources to make a living. You have to go to work with your sim at least 3 times and have a close relationship with 3 famous sims. You have to complete the master actor slash actress aspiration and get married and have at least one child. The traits for this one is going to be family oriented, creative, and self absorbed. And you have to be in the acting career, of course. Generation 9, life size. Growing up in the limelight, you have always cared about your appearance. Your parents taught you that you are never fully dressed without a smile, but you taught yourself that while fashion is a trend, style lasts forever. Your parent may have gotten all your attention from the television screen, but you have always been a showstopper when it comes to trend setting. I encourage you having nifty knitting or using fashion mods to enhance this gameplay because this is pretty much for you to be tapping into that fashion bag, okay? So complete the style influencer career, use trendy as a side hustle or plopsy, and have at least one child, but never marry. The traits are going to be outgoing, high maintenance, materialistic, and you need to work the style influencer career. Finally, that brings us to Generation 10 Drumline. Now, y'all, this is like the Generation Alpha of your generations. So, after growing up in a life where you've never had to want for anything, your parent made it seem so easy to have it all effortlessly. But after graduating high school and starting your first college semester, you quickly realize that it takes more than talent to get you to the top. As you go through college trying to become a star, you lean in on your community to help you mold into the sim you were born to be. The requirements is that you max out any instrument, go to college for fine art and get a degree. If you don't have Discover University, then just complete the entertainment career in the musician branch. Complete the world famous celebrity aspiration and fall in love and start a family. The traits required is music lover, perfectionist, snob, and ultimately you want to end up in the musician career. So, y'all, that is all the generations that I came up with. I try my best to leave some freedom for you guys to go in and like make your own other parts of the background, maybe add on to the story of where they came from and how they came to be. But as y'all can see in the background, I've created my founder and her son. I decided that I did want the next generation to end up being with a boy. So I went ahead and made him, y'all. I was not gonna play any games. And then just a minute here, I'm gonna show you guys the homeless shelter or housing unit that I came up with. This was inspired by me searching on the web trying to find if there was anything like this. Basically like a temporary home where you do have to qualify to live there. You can't just be there and decide that every day you gonna go out and just beg. No, you have to actually be showing that you're going to be working for this new housing or whatever. Like, this is completely temporary. It is gonna be in my game set as a residential rental lot, but that still to me is a community lot because it's a housing unit. So that's what I mean by y'all have freedom over what kind of community lot it is. I just wanted that to be clear because there was a recent update in the game where you actually can make community lots now. And I just wanted y'all to know that that is not what I'm talking about. Like, it does not have to be an actual community lot. But I know that not everybody that participates in the challenge will watch this walkthrough. So either way, I'm still excited to see what people come up with and how they take the backgrounds and make their own stories. It's just super exciting. But anyway, y'all, I'm not going to bore y'all with any more of my walkthrough. Honestly, I am just super excited to get to the gameplay now. And if anybody decides to do this legacy, please, please, please tag me or credit me in the video so that I can see what y'all came up with and just watch along because I enjoy watching gameplay, okay? I watch gameplay too. So tag me and follow me on my other socials if you haven't already so we can keep up with each other, bestie. And honestly, I'm just going to end this video by showing y'all the housing unit that I built. I'll see you in my next video.
Love you like a brother, treat you like a friend, respect you like a lover. Oh, 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 oh.
You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that.
Cash, I'll be the rubber band, you be the match, I will be a fuse. Boom, painter baby, you could be the views. I'm the reporter baby, you could be the news. Cause you're the cigarette, and I'm the smoker. We raise a bet, cause you're the joker. Chipped off, you are the joke. If I could be the blackboard, we can be the top. I can be the phone, yeah, when the sky comes falling, even when the sun don't shine. I got faith in you and I just put your pretty little hand in mine. Even when we're down to the wire, baby, even when it's do or die, we can do it, baby, simple and plain. Cause this love is a short thing.
You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that, never gotta sweat that. You could bet that.